Welcome everybody back to Friar Talk today. Talking about the trade deadline rumors. We haven't had that many videos out lately, mostly just been sticking with the live streams, but it's trade deadline season, so we are going to have this one out. We're going to give our favorite guys that we want to see the Padres trade for, and then we're also going to have a Kim video out all before we record or go live next Sunday. So a lot of stuff coming your way, but today we want to talk about just the overall rumors that are in the pod, that people are talking about for the Padres right now. As the trade deadline heats up, it's on like Monday or Tuesday. We're recording this after the Padres just absolutely demolished the Nationals, and they're currently sitting in that third spot for the wild card. The Mets, who are also on fire, they're a half game up, and the Braves, who are 2 games above the Padres, are in that first wild card spot, and they are plummeting down. They're on a 4-game losing streak, and we talked about this when we went live on Sunday, that this wild card race there's a lot of teams, and it's not like the Braves are just locked into the first spot. They're not the same Braves they were the last few years. Their team is beat up, and it's unfortunate for them. Like it's a lot. It's mostly injury related. Obviously, when you lose the MVP, but this is going to be a huge wild card. And so with that, we want to talk about the trade deadline. We kind of talked about just like real quick stuff like a couple weeks ago too, of like, yeah, are they going to buy or sell? Probably buy. Well, guess what, guys? The rumors have started to, they started to come out a little bit. The Padres are going to be buyers. That has been established. Basically, what you're seeing is that the Padres are going after pitching. They're going after starting pitching. They're going after relieving. They're going to need a lot of arms. They are going after arms. There has been basically nothing about them going after bats. When we've talked about the trade deadline recently, we said there's not really a reason to go after bats. Your lineup's full. You're getting Fernando back. You have depth pieces. You have Solano sitting on the bench. You're going to have David Peralta sitting on the bench. Those are both good bench pieces. So the lineup, it's not needed. You already made that trade. Traded for Luis Ariz. That was your trade. The bullpen needs some work. Hopefully you get a lefty. But there's some guys that we like. We're going to talk about those guys in the future. But that is the rumors. The rumors that they are going after pitching. Now, with that said, the biggest name on the market, I would say, Isaac, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is pretty accurate, at least at this point. It's Crochet. That is the biggest name on the market, and it doesn't seem like the Padres are in on him. You see names floated around and stuff. It seems like that is an Orioles versus Dodgers. Who's going to get him? That's what it seems like on him. It does not seem like the Padres are in. There's not really any rumors linked to him. You're not seeing that. And we actually made a video a couple weeks back. Hey, don't trade for him. It doesn't make much sense for the Padres. And a lot of the reason that we said don't do it, this is just great. I'm just kind of breaking out all the rumors, and it's like actually everything that we're like hoping to hear. But the big thing was we're like, it's too risky a trade for him. You're swinging for the fences, like it's a massive move, and you're gonna have to trade either Ethan Salas or Leo DeVries, and you don't want to trade DeVries or Salas, right? That we've talked about that. That's another thing that came out. The Padres are not looking to trade either Salas or DeVries, which we are pumped about. So you're looking at it now. You're like, all right, well, so what's the game plan for the Padres? What are the rumors indicating? It's indicating that they're going after pitching because you don't know if you're going to get Musgrove or Darvish back. There's a very good chance that neither of them come back this year. Now, luckily, Randy Vasquez has been balling. Matt Waldron has been really good, and those two guys have been able to kind of replace them. But you are still only have truly, you only have 4 starters right now that you can really rely on at all. And Randy Vasquez struggled a lot early on in the year, but he's been playing a lot better the last few starts. So that's kind of what everything's linking to. We're going to pull up some mock trades that we've seen come out. Pull up a Fangraphs one. But Isaac, when you're looking at these rumors, I feel like for me, and I feel like the same way for you, it's music to our ears, right? Like this is exactly what we wanted to hear.
Yeah. The funny thing with the Padres is that, yes, a lot of their stuff gets leaked, but there's also times where you're like, wow, I didn't expect them to get that guy. A few years ago, it was Josh Hader, Brandon Drury. We didn't expect that. I didn't expect it. And I didn't expect Josh Bell to be included in the Soto package. Even this year, at the time we got Arias, at the time we got Cease. I know they were kind of on AJ's radar, but I kind of didn't expect it, especially with the timing at the beginning of the season. But there's been quite a few trades AJ Preller's pulled off where it's like, oh, this came out of nowhere. And that's where maybe Garrett Crochet comes in because I don't think they should be interested. Not because I wouldn't want Crochet. I think he's an amazing player. You look at his baseball savant, it's red all across. It's beautiful. But nonetheless, you got some injury related concerns. Um, you have an innings limit concern. He's never thrown this many innings. Um, and you're looking at a package that's going to be a little similar, if not more, than what you traded for to get Dylan Cease, or what you traded to get Dylan Cease. Because you're getting, I believe, an extra year or two of control for a guy that's young, and quite frankly, he's going to be right there for a Cy Young award. Now, even though I don't believe he's going to become available, Tariq Skubal would immediately become the top arm on the market. Though neither of us believe he's going to become available, I think he's too good to become available. With that being said, Matt, you're right. The only sure thing that we know is going to be on the market as far as pitchers go is Garrett Crochet. Because if you look at like the bats, you could say, oh, maybe the biggest name is Robert Jr., Guerrero Jr., maybe Bichette. It depends on your preferences because those are some really big names. But as far as talent, as far as control, salary, youth, a guy that can win a Cy Young, because I don't think those other guys could win an MVP anymore. It's Crochet. So you look at the two teams that, in our opinion, the two teams that are in the market for him, Dodgers, Orioles. You could probably beat the Dodgers in a package if you're willing to give up your two top guys, which we'll talk about in a bit. But if you're willing to give up your top two guys, you could easily beat the Dodgers because the Dodgers' top prospect is the 47th ranked prospect. And I believe his ETA is next year or this year. And then, so they have two top 100 prospects, all below number 47. We have two guys that are probably going to end up in the top 10 eventually. So you can beat them, but the Orioles are heavily favored, and I think they're most suited to get Garrett Crochet because of their top-heavy farm system. It's a very good farm system. It's a very deep farm system, and it's guys that can help right now for the White Sox and in the future for the White Sox. So I think that's their best bet. With that being said, the Padres can beat the Dodgers in the trade package. I don't think they can beat the Orioles. I don't think the Padres can get Garrett Crochet. Would I be excited? Talent-wise, of course I'm going to be excited. As far as going on a run, of course I'm going to be excited. But there's concerns. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, man. It's all music to my ears. I would like to see the Padres. I like Flaherty. I like Kikuchi. I like Fed. I think that's how you say his name. I like some of these guys, a lot of these guys that are on the market right now. But yeah, man, right now you're looking at the Padres saying, hey, we're holding on to our guys that are going to be top 5, top 10 prospects in all of baseball here soon. Lesko and Snelling sound like they might be available, but I'd be willing to let one of, if not both of them, go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And so you see it, you look at some of these trades, and like you could still see the Padres going like Flaherty. That makes a lot of sense. Like there are some names that make a lot of sense. I brought up that I want to show you guys a mock trade, and this is one that Isaac sent us in our Friar Talk group chat, and I think this is a very interesting one. So this is the trade that he sent us, and we have talked about Kikuchi a little bit about trading for him, but you look at this trade and you're like, if you're the Padres here, are you getting anything? Are you getting anything insane? Are you going nuts? No, but you're getting a lefty starter that can immediately step in and be your 4 or 5 starter. Is Kikuchi that great anymore? Not really, but he's solid. He's okay. He's definitely going to benefit from pitching in Petco. That is absolutely for sure. And then you get Yimi Garcia, who is pretty nice, dude. Like he's a good reliever. This year he's been terrific, but even the last couple years he's been a good reliever too. His baseball savant basically just read across the board. Um, he throws like an upper 90s fastball. He actually throws a bunch of pitches. He has a 6-pitch mix, which is pretty crazy out of the bullpen. He is a righty. That's kind of like the only downside, I guess. But it's like, dude, you go and you get a high leverage bullpen arm, and you go and you get Kikuchi, and you're giving up in this mock trade, A. Rosario, Brandon Valenzuela, and Homer Bush. Are these like? And I'm not trying to like talk down on any of the prospects, but are these any guys that you guys are looking at for the Padres? Like, man, like this is if we lose Aggie, like, oh, like no, it's like no, we understand that like those guys are going to get traded. They're kind of there to be trade pieces, and these are rentals that could end up being very very helpful for this team. So I think like trades like that mock-up trade is what the Padres should be looking for, and that's what the rumors are saying is what they're looking for. So I like it a lot. I mean, the guy that we talked about, and like we're gonna do more stuff on this. Like we said, we want to talk about the guys we really like, but Tanner Scott is like the number one guy that we've kind of said out of the bullpen that we want to go get. And honestly, Isaac, you told me if I'm wrong. I feel like Kikuchi's the number one guy that we said we wanted them to go get as a starter. So if they went and pulled that traded for Scott, like we'd be like, dude, perfect, because you actually are making the team that much better. Because what are the needs? The needs aren't we need to go get a Juan Soto. That's not the needs. The needs are, dude, we need a good bullpen. That we need a good bullpen and we need another starter. And hopefully Darvish and or Musgrove come back. But like we don't know if that's the case. So that's really what you're looking for. I will mention another guy, James Paxton on the Dodgers. Chase isn't here, but if Chase was here, he'd be advocating big time for him. Chase really wanted the Padres to sign him in the offseason. And he's a guy where you look at it and you go, okay, he's getting DFA'd. However, he's going to get traded. So, yes, the Padres should be interested. Are they realistically going to make a trade with the Dodgers where it's like, oh, you're going to go trade for a back-end starter when probably your biggest need is a back-end starter with a team in your division that's in the playoffs? Like no, the Dodgers don't want to trade him there. Team that's probably going to trade for him is probably going to be the Red Sox, if we're being honest. So I don't expect the Padres to actually get James Paxton. I was kind of like looking into like, well, like is he going to get fully released? But they're like, no, they're going to be able to trade him basically. Like that's what'll happen. So I don't think they're going to get him. But that would be another guy I'd be like, oh, that'd be sweet if you could just pick him up and sign him. But overall, dude, that's the rumors. Rumors say, hey, the Padres are going in for pitching, and they're not trying to break the bank on someone. They're not trying to pull the crazy Garrett Crochet trade. It seems like that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for smaller level trades, which is honestly what they should be doing, and that's what they need to be doing. So I'm really excited for this trade deadline. I do think the Padres are going to be pretty active. I think we're going to see a couple different deals. I don't know, man. Like, what else are you thinking, dude? Because I feel like that's what we wanted to hear have like be the case, and it's good that they're not trading Salas or DeVries, especially because DeVries has been on fire lately too.
Oh yeah, DeVries is cooking. I think if they're heavily in on one of the top starters in the market, whether it be Garrett Crochet or if School does become available, that kind of tells me either Darvish or Musgrove won't be ready. Because honestly, if we're looking like, oh, if we want to make the playoffs and Darvish and Musgrove aren't there, your 3-game rotation is going to be Cease, Waldron, King, and like they're not bad. Don't get me wrong, Waldron and King are fire, bro. Well, King has been fantastic. Waldron's had a few bad starts, but he's been super good outside of that. Randy Vasquez has been fantastic for the past 4 starts. All our starting rotation is coming through right now. They are clutch right now. At a time where the top 2 guys are down, those guys are picking it up, Waldron, King, and Vasquez. But if we're looking like at
Cease, bro,
and
Cease has been on one lately.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, when you're looking at the rumors, you saw that Kikuchi and Yimi Garcia trade. Homer Bush Jr., Brandon Valenzuela, Eggy Rosario. I'm not losing sleep over losing those guys. Don't really care to lose those guys. Eggy, I like Eggy, but he's a replacement level bat. He's just a bench bat, a guy that you platoon sometimes against lefties because he's really good against lefties, horrific against righties. Valenzuela, heard that name for a while, haven't heard much about him. And then Homer Bush Jr., haven't heard much about him either. These are guys that I do not care to give up. Kikuchi and Yimi Garcia, those are cheap rental pieces that you're looking at and you're saying these guys could help us this year get to where we want to be. You're looking at a team that just has to win like 85, 86 games. They're like 30 games away from that, 32 games away from that. Instead of having to worry about that 5th spot until Musgrove comes back or until Darvish comes back, you're saying, well, hey, we got a serviceable lefty with around a 4 ERA and a lineup that's putting up runs pretty consistently right now. That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And I'd have to go through the starters, but because I don't know if Kikuchi's my top guy personally. But as far as lefties, other than Crochet, he's probably the only guy I could think of that I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, we got someone up there that's going to help us win some games or keep us in the game at least. But Yimi Garcia, I mean, he's not qualified for baseball savant statistics yet, but if he were qualified for 2024, it'd look a lot better than what I'm about to show you for 2023. Because even 2023 is pretty good. The 2023 baseball savant, it's not bad. It's actually pretty solid. You look at it, it's the 79th percentile in expected ERA, 87th in average exit velocity, 90th on walk percentage. He doesn't really walk a lot of guys, so it's not that bad. But
You can also kind
2024.
of see his. You pull up his 24. You can see where the numbers would be.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, let me pull it up.
Like they're super high
They're
up there
really
too.
good. Yes, they are really good. So you see it, he'd be like in the 95th plus percentile in expected ERA, probably like in the 99th for expected batting average. I mean, chase percentage, strikeout percentage, walks are a little worse this year, but this guy's really good, man. This is a guy that you want coming out of your bullpen for sure. Are there better arms? Yes, and you know Matt and I have talked about it at length. I don't want to talk too much about him because it's going to be spoiling the next video. But if you guys watch the last one, you know who we like. You know who we all like. And I'm sure they're the same guys that you like. Personally, I'm a guy that's saying I would rather get 2 bullpen arms or 3 bullpen arms at the deadline because I don't want to see Yuki Matsui anymore. Daniel De Los Santos is so bad that he got thrown in up by 9 runs in the bottom of the ninth. And then you got Logan Gillespie, Sean Reynolds. I'm sorry, but there's way too many bullpen arms that I'm not comfortable with where I'm saying, okay, I don't want just 1 bullpen arm. I want 2 or 3. When you look at the playoffs and you're saying, oh, well, Michael King just faced the Dodgers. He went 5 innings because the Dodgers they get a lot of they can foul off a lot of balls, and it ends up racking up the pitch count. And by the end of the 5th, they're already at 90 plus pitches. And you're saying, well, we need to go into the bullpen. You want a deep bullpen for those type of games, for that playoff run. And this is where the trade deadline comes in. The easiest thing to acquire at the deadline, relievers. So I think they should be all in on guys like Tanner Scott, Yimi Garcia, and the rest that we'll mention in the next video. But as far as starters go, yes. Kikuchi is a guy that you're saying around a 4 ERA, baseball savant is okay, but you're not looking at him as like, oh, this guy's going to be our ace. You're looking at him and you're saying he's our 5th guy. Like, it's better than Brito, better than Mazer, it's better than guys that are out there right now. I won't put the jury out on Brito yet. I really like Brito. I think he could be good, but Kikuchi's probably more serviceable than Brito right now. We don't know what's going on with him.
And he's a lefty.
And he's a lefty, exactly. We've been lacking a lefty this whole year. We haven't had a single lefty starter all year. So, yeah, I mean, that's where I am, or that's what we know so far about the trade deadline. Of course, I know it's really fun to be in on bats, but they already traded for a bat earlier this year. Their lineup is damn good. Profar, Merrill, Tatis when he comes back, Donovan Solano, I'm just saying, should be getting a lot more at bats than he's getting right now. Kim, Machado, Bogarts, Arise, Cronenworth, Higashioka is hitting really well right now. This is a stacked lineup. It's a really good lineup, and you're fortunate to be saying we don't need bats at the line at the deadline. 2 years ago, even last year, you were saying, yeah, man, we need some bats, and unfortunately, bats are pretty damn hard to acquire, much harder to acquire than pitching. So I think it's fortunate that we're in this type of position right now. I think the Padres, with a trade of a starter and 2 relievers or 3 relievers, whatever they do, I think it could set them up for a nice run to make the playoffs.
100%. Well, guys, thank you all for listening. Also, next time we record, gonna let you all know right now, we got a promo code coming out. We're actually pretty excited about it. We've never done that. Channel's been going on like 4 seasons, so we're gonna do a little something if you guys want to help us out. Gonna be with Underdog. Promo code will be Friar Talk, but we'll talk about that more in future episodes and stuff. But we are pumped to be doing that. We won't make it all like a crazy ad when we do it. Like, I feel like some people do that. I don't really think that's our vibe. But we are excited to actually do that, and hopefully some people like sign up and stuff. It'd be cool to make a little bit of money off the channel. That'd be pretty sick. But yeah, that's what we're doing heading into this. We'll do a lot of stuff. I know Isaac's the same way as I mean, we feel the same way about the trade deadline. It's the best time of the year to like do all this stuff. Like, it's the funnest time to be on YouTube and to be talking with this stuff. So as trades come in, as more rumors come out, like there might be a quick rumor about so and so. Well, I might just hop on, or he might just hop on and do like a quick 5-minute video. But we're gonna be a lot more active in this next week, so we're excited for that. But yeah, thank you guys all for listening. We'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great night, and go Padres.